Hey y'all, welcome back to the party. It is me, your girl BrittReacts, with Mr. KRIZZ KALIKO on the line. Hello, can you hear us? Are you there?
What's up?
All right, welcome. It's so good to see you. We're gonna just jump right into this one. This one is from the Newsroom, and it is about America not being the greatest country in the world anymore.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I feel the same. Uh-oh is right.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Let's see what they have to say.
Tonight.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. A couple 1-2 punches, no big deal. Let's see.
Right.
Let's move on to the next question. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what, you know what I mean? Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Will?
The New York Jets.
Not the Jets.
No. I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world?
Kansas City Chiefs.
You said, I'll raise you.
I see
Kansas
you
City
Jets,
Chiefs.
and I'll raise you Patrick Mahomes and my illustrious Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, all right. This is interesting. Why did everyone laugh when she said in one sentence or less?
Because what's less than a sentence? A word? What's
I
less?
don't
She said
know, girl.
one sentence, or less. She had to laugh and kind of go, oh, wait a minute, I didn't mean that. Because how do you answer something you want it in one word? In
Right.
one word, I would have said Chiefs. Jets. It is freedom to a degree.
To a degree.
To a degree, there's freedom. And there's definitely, without me going too far political and getting either one of us in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Well, freedom ain't free.
That is a phrase. It is a phrase
That was one
for a
sentence.
reason.
That was one sentence or less, so I got her.
There you go. You did it. All right, let's see what he's going to say after this.
America, the greatest country in the world.
Well, Lewis and Sharon said it. Diversity and opportunity and freedom and freedom.
He is not believing this.
It's not. Oh.
I'm not letting you go back to the airport without answering the question.
Dang.
She like, tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our Constitution is a masterpiece. James Madison was a genius. The Declaration of Independence is, for me, the single greatest piece of American writing.
That's your answer.
You don't look satisfied.
One's a set of laws and the other's a declaration of war. I want a human moment from you. What about the people? Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the
This is great.
Oh, no, you wanted an answer. I gave it to you.
Yeah. You literally bullied me for the answer. You bullied it out of this man.
Yeah, you got it. You got what you wanted.
You got your answer.
I think it also, before he gives his answer, because he's obviously about to, now that you wanted it, you wanted the noise.
You woke the beast.
You woke the beast. I think it depends on who you ask.
I agree.
I think that it's great in a lot of ways. I don't want to necessarily live anywhere else. There's a lot of people fleeing and going because of whoever they didn't like the president that got chosen, you know what I'm saying, that won the presidency. It's going to be the same for me no matter who's the president, is what I always say.
Okay.
It's going to be the same for me. I understand as a black male that I have to move a certain way. I instruct my children. I have boys. I instruct them that there's a certain way that we have to move, that we have to behave as black males in this country. I think in a lot of ways, things have come a long way, just like our previous conversations that we talked about in the other video. I think things have come a long, long way. I really do. I really do. But there's certain things that have gotten a little bit better, but haven't quite hit the mark yet. And so I think that we have to, I teach my boys, let me just cut to it. I teach my children to be, get extra credit. Go above and beyond. That's what I mean. I don't mean like this this cultural group is good or bad. Like, I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. All of my friends are from all walks of life, all races and all walks of life. So it doesn't have anything to do with that, you know. But it's about, you know, I did understand, and the world taught me, well, this is who I am. This is where I fit in society. And there's still also not any limits. My father owned his own company. I never saw my dad work a day in his life. My dad owned his own company, and it was very successful from the 60s all the way till he died in 89. You know what I'm saying? And so there's not limitations necessarily unless you let what you've been taught hinder you.
Give you that ceiling. I agree.
Give you that ceiling. So in certain ways, it depends, like I said, it depends on how you ask, and it's situational. So
I'll second that. I think that yeah, you look at other countries, and I think there are some things that you could look in to America and be like, what y'all got going on? But more often than not, you still have millions of people fleeing to this country every year.
Yeah, there's more opportunity here than
for asylum, right, and for the opportunity of it all, right? But the people that are in this country, like you said, depending on who you ask, have very different experiences. Economically, you know, religiously, but that is the freedom of it, is that we all have the freedom to make these choices. And like you said, then what do we do with it? Are we going to let what someone says or what society is telling us cap us? Or are we going to be like, yeah, no. But that is, I guess, the freedom in the freedom. But it ain't free, like you said. It's never free. Yeah,
I think you got to really try, and that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You have to try. There's going to be some things in other countries that are better. Like the food is probably processed.
Healthier.
It's probably maybe not even processed in other countries. So, you know, there's things, but also, you know, I think it's easier to appreciate somebody else's house. Even if you live in a mansion, you get used to it. So even if this is the greatest country in the world with all the opportunity, you may not even see it like that because somebody else's house looks better just because it's new and different than what you're used to seeing every single day.
I think that's a great and perfect analogy. I like that one a lot.
Is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime, column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose.
Oh.
If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always?
Hey, and with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yet you, sorority girl,
Just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day,
there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
Yosemite?
What does that mean? He lost me.
The park, Yosemite. He's like, that's what's the greatest part about this country.
Like Yosemite, yeah,
the
National Park.
Oh my. I mean, the numbers are staggering. I am seldom speechless, but I feel it's best I keep my mouth shut.
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like, man, I'm not a quiet person, as you can tell, but I don't have a lot of words. Women lie, men lie, numbers
But
do not.
numbers do not, my friend.
Numbers do not. Now, with that being said, do I want to live somewhere else? No.
Right.
No. This
Right.
is my country. I'm American. One thing I noticed about traveling around the world doing music, when me and Tech Nine were traveling around the world together, one thing I gathered, two things I gathered. Everybody speaks English pretty much everywhere that I traveled, even in Europe in non-English speaking countries. Below a certain age, below, I'd say 60 and below, they all speak English. America is the cool kid of the world. I lied, I've got three. America's the cool kid. And everybody wants to come here. You telling me everybody wants to come here? Even with those stats that he rattled off, everybody still wants to come here. Everybody still wants to be American because we're the cool kids. And we have the most opportunity, a lot more opportunity in a lot of places. I won't say we have the most because I don't know that for a fact, and I don't speak if I don't know. So with that being said, it sure appears to be, even with those stats.
I think outside of those stats, which his stats were pretty, I don't know, if we put aside all of the facts as far as government and statistics and things, like you said, the cool kid thing, I think America we set the tone culturally for like music, fashion. America is kind of the big brother of it all. Everyone looks up to America especially for those things. And so I think in a world where he's talking to a 20-year-old and saying their generation is the worst generation of all time, or whatever, it's like, but that's what matters to this generation is the cultural, the cool cultural things. So, I mean, is he wrong? No, I mean, he just gave us the numbers, but like you said, people still want to come here and people still want to stay here.
They do. And I think those numbers are real. This is obviously a clip
Right.
of the movie because that's Jeff Daniels.
Right.
So it's like, oddly enough, most popularly from the movie Dumb and Dumber, which he does not seem dumb or dumber in this. But so I'm like, are those the real stats or were those put in there for this
Right.
scene?
Right. I don't know. That's what I'm like, but the argument is there. Like the argument is there. And like you said, I don't know if the numbers are exact, and maybe they were inflated a bit for this scene, but it does feel like it could be on track. I don't know. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens after he just kind of blew this room up.
America.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
Ooh.
Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed. By great men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore.
You happy?
Enough?
I knew that's where he was ending with that. Are you happy? Have I given you what you needed? All right.
You wanted me to confirm your opinion. Is how I feel like, Jeff Daniels was saying to the host or whoever, the moderator or whatever he was.
Yeah.
You wanted me to confirm, why it is, and I'm going to give you reasons why it's not. The thing that I will say is that there's reasons why it is and why it's not.
I mean, he broke it down on how great it used to be, in his opinion, and beautifully said.
There's ways in how it is still great.
Mm-hmm.
There's ways in how it's still dope. You know what I'm saying? How it's still really good. And that's with anything. If you describe yourself or I describe myself, we can talk about how good and bad we are. Mm-hmm. So I think that you can also place that on the shoulders of the description of America. It's great in this way, it's bad in this way. Is it bad enough for you to go and try to figure it out somewhere else? If you think that, the freedom that we have is that you're more than free to go do that. Now, will they accept you when you get there? I mean, like...
Talk about that. Talk about that part. Most countries can't stand Americans. They look
it's
to...
50-50.
I don't know. I okay, yes.
They love us or they hate us.
Right. And they kind of look at us like, you think you're all that, but you're not. I will say, I think the Newsroom is a show, actually. I don't think it's a movie. I think it's a show. I'm not 100% sure. I'm saying that because I'm looking at the suggestion screen and there's more clips of it. And I feel like I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. One, I just want to shout out how impeccable the acting was. Like, that monologue was fantastic. Like, it was so passionate and deep. He did. And to think, like you said, like, he went from Dumb and Dumber to this. Like, that's range. So I just...
Dumb and Dumber to Smart and Smarter.
Right. Like, I just needed to shout out. I think that was a beautiful thing. I also liked the juxtaposition of the monologue, right? He went from angry and anger fueled in how he felt America was no longer the greatest country. And then he went to, like, sad and defeated and reflective on how America used to be great. And if I could say, I don't know if I'm right, but I feel it was a beautiful depiction of where we are as Americans right now, in between the frustration and still being proud of being American. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think it was beautiful how they were able to, whoever wrote the heck out of that scene did that. But yeah, I think that was a beautiful, like, balance and symmetry of where most Americans are. It's like, we're so frustrated with so many things, but then you also still have to acknowledge the beauty and the freedom, and that, we have the freedom to choose what kind of school our children go to and what religion we want to be a part of. And do you know what I'm saying? Like, we still have so much. I just thought that was beautiful. Like, I just was like, the acting there was mind blowing.
It was. When I get, when there's scenes like that could be true about us, we don't know. Like we said, we don't know if those stats are real because it's
right.
TV or movie.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm reflecting like that and it's so good, I forget I'm on YouTube.
Right. You're like, oh, there's a camera here.
I'm like, I forgot anybody else was here. I thought I was just having watching a movie myself and having these thoughts about my country. At the end of the day, nothing is all good or bad. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing's all good or all bad. It depends on your perspective.
Perspective
is that when I've gone to therapy, I go to therapy. I've been on all kind of psych meds and stuff back in the day, and gone to therapy. And I asked my therapist that I have, my current one, what is the purpose of therapy? He said, the purpose of therapy is to offer you a different perspective that you may not be considering. That's what I think this is. I think when you listen to any argument, the argument on either side of this subject, it's just offering you a perspective that maybe you didn't think of.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Yeah.
That's it.
And perspective is a beautiful thing. I think it's really why I love to react to these kind of videos, because I love to see other people's perspective. I love to alter my perspective if there's space for that. And I think overall perspective helps respect. We can respect one another because we all have different perspectives. Like it's,
Yep.
you know.
Respect my perspective.
Hello? Okay. All right. Well, this was great. Let everybody know where they can find you on the interweb.
On them worldwide, on them internets, y'all can find me at KRIZZ. Just put that in the search engine. KRIZZ in any search engine. That's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere. And I should pop up looking like this.
You can't miss that. You can't miss it.
I'm a unique looking guy. You can't miss me.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you have the day you deserve. Bye.